Hello everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through the really simple task ECS Fargate 101. In this video recording, I'm going to show you the end-to-end process on how to deploy a really simple application into AWS Fargate. Really first step, I think I would like to introduce you the overall diagram. I think within what we are going to do, we are going to deploy a Nginx container which is pulling the image from Amazon ACR into a app service which is located into ECS cluster. Really simple one. It just yeah the first step. The really first step that you're setting up your AWS account, installing the AWS CLI, AWS SAM CLI, and you can just follow the simple step and download it for your Mac and or Linux. And you installed it, AWS SAM AI, and then you verified it. For example, and let's run this same version. There we go. You can see you are expect to see the same CLI version. And coming back to here, and once you're setting those up, and you start in define your infrastructure, and by creating the file templates.yaml file in under the folder, and you copy and paste the code in here. And what you need to do is that you find out. I think unfortunately it's not. I think the CloudFormation is not smart enough to find out the default subnet. So you have to find out the one of the requests is that you deploy your service. You have to deploy it into a subnet. And you have to come to your console and go to the VPC and find out the subnet ID. You can just choose one, I think two of them. Just copy and paste, and coming back to the code here, and replace it with your subnet A and subnet B parameter. So, and I'm also going to walk you through what this template gonna do. So first of all, in the service lane, you have to create a service lane role, which is the ECS gonna assume that role to create a cluster in your account. That's how AWS ECS work. So the second thing is that you have to define the task definition. Um, you need to tell that, hey, where the image is and the port number is going to run, and I'm going to use the really simple Nginx web server image and the typical port 80. And you can, I think in the AWS Fargate, you have to define AWS VPC network mode. And for simplicity, I'll just assign CPU 256 units and 500 and 12 megabyte memory for this service. And then the ECS execution role, I think that's for the task. Whenever you run the task, that's where the policy that it needs. And then you create I think as a part of the template, you create the ECS cluster, and this really has to depend on service role creation. And then after you create the task and definition and the IAM role, and you just create the ECS service, and which is pointing to, hey, I'm going to deploy this service into this cluster, and I'm going to use this Nginx task definition. And my launch type is going to be Fargate, and you have to define that the subnet. For simplicity, I just assign the public IP so that you can visit, I think, the URL via the browser. So that's what you have to do. So after you create a template.yaml file and paste it here, and what you're going to do is you're just going to deploy this. You have to do I think SAM build. That's what we're going to do, and let's have a look. SAM build. And what it actually do, it will build the artifact and put it into the .aws SAM folder, and then you do a SAM deploy, that assuming that you have already set up the AWS credential. So for now, I have already set up the AWS credential, and I just simply run it. So that's one will tell you that, hey, I'm going to, I think because I have already done that part, let me just delete that part, and I think that's the default. Let's not worry about that. Let me just delete this part, and we'll just need the same deploy guide. All right, let's run this one. Same deploy guide. That what we hey, what's the set name I'm going to you're going to use? In this case, I'll call it a hello world ECS and default region, and the parameter I just put, and convert the change before deploy, yes, and creating row, yes, saving the argument to config file, yes, a default location and default, yeah, which is good. And what it's going to do, it will try to create the change set and ask you to confirm, hey, I'm going to create a cluster, I'm going to create an IAM role, I'm going to service link role, I'm going to create a task definition and service. Let's create yes. And what it will do, it will go into the cloud formation, and it will create a cloud formation. And as you can see from here, it will create the ECS cluster, service ring role, execution role, servicing role, and task definition, and ECS service. And let's have a look. The Elastic container is creating the cluster, and now it's creating the service. It's still doing the spinning up the task, and still pending. And let's see how it goes. Still pending to download the image and run the container and doing the health check. Once the health check status is fine, and we should be able to finish. Let's wait. It might take a while, and let's have a look. And it looks like the containers up and running, and let's have a look. So remember, we assigned the public IP address. We set this public IP address to be enabled, so we should be able to access the container really easily. This is our container, and there we go. We can open the address, and there we go. That's how it works. And coming back, so after you deploy, you can find out the public IP address and access it via the browser. That's the end. Thank you so much, guys.